Good morning, beautiful people. We made it through another work week. It is Friday, July 29th, 9:30 at the morning. It just hit that 9:30 spot, so I know a lot of you. It is 10:30 on the East Coast, 7:30 on the West Coast. I hope you guys have a great day. Not a long show today, okay? And the reason for that is Jackson is over on vacation. He's traveling, and I have a few things. I have a roommates moving in on Sunday and Monday, so I need to get my apartment ready. So today's a little bit of a shorter episode due to those two reasons, but that doesn't mean we ain't gonna talk about any of these NBA things. But if you guys do enjoy the show, be a friend and tell a friend. And if you guys don't like it, just forget it ever happened. So let's get right into it. A little few news that I want to talk about. Ana de Armas, who I would suck a fart at her ass. Ana Armas is Marilyn Monroe in the new movie Blonde. I definitely will watch that. A little bit of John Wall news, according to some sources, is John Wall right now. They're showing some highlights, but like people showing Jamal Murray doing a spin move, and everyone's like, people forget how good prime John Wall was, and John Wall on the prime was great. What up, Shade Texan? What up, Joshua George? Thank you for joining us today. We're gonna run through some NBA news like it all just happened. And let's get right into it and let's talk about it. Guys, I think today is going to be, again, I've said it before, a little bit of a shorter show today because it's just me and there's not much NBA news. So if you just want to see a man go crazy, plus, like I said, I have some roommates moving in. I got to go rent yo, what's up, Aaron? And I got to go rent a carpet cleaner from Home Depot and clean my apartment. Basically, just get my apartment ready for two new guys to move in that I'm friends with. But what are you guys doing? And a rapper died at 24. Who died? And I'm sorry, my girlfriend just texted me. Now, Carson Edwards is heading over to Fenerbahce in Istanbul. And the veteran played about 75 games, Carson Edwards, in the NBA, but now he's going over to Fenerbahce in Turkey. So if you're a Carson Edwards fan, he has gone to Turkey. He was kind of too small for the NBA. Hopefully, he can follow Shane Larkin's path and become an MVP candidate over in Europe. That'd be really cool and be awesome for him. Next news. This one's a little bit more interesting, guys. I think you guys would like this one. At 2:01 a.m., according to the Nets income at netsdaily.com, New York time Friday, Joe Tsai was online somewhere and retweeted a post from Boardroom. If you guys do not know, Boardroom is the Kevin Durant website. The original tweet was a video in which Shalomo Sprung of Lord Room asked various legends of New York playground which NBA player could survive the hollow blacktop. The players were gathered 2 nights ago, and the city. What's it called? Oh, yeah, I agree. I personally love European basketball. If you follow my YouTube channel, I cover a lot of European basketball prospects, free agency, and all the top names every offseason. I'm a very big fan of European basketball. My family's from Argentina, Italy, and Serbia. I mean, I have family in Amsterdam, Ibiza, Germany. I have family all over the country. I mean, all over Europe. And I don't have any family in America. I'm like basically familyless in America. I only have my parents and sisters in America, nobody else. So I completely understand you. I grew up like when I go to Argentina, I play at the Division 3 basketball. My mom's hometown has a Division 3 basketball, like Division 3 club for soccer and basketball. And I usually go there. If I stay there for a month, I'm at the basketball club for like 3 hours a day. I'll go to the basketball club and I'll just train with the basketball team. I'll just play with them. And it is so much fun. They are so much wilder. Plus, guys, tell me down below. Do you guys agree with me? My roommate freaking hated the European basketballs. I love European basketballs. I love the grip on the Euro ball. I just really like Euro balls better than the NBA ball. That's my personal preference. Now, that's good to hear, Aaron. I hope your vacation was good, bro. Really hope it was good. Now, with that being said, everybody in that video chanted Kyrie, Kyrie. So in retweeting with truth was the Nets owner, Joe Tsai, praising his point guard in the midst of reports and rumors that he doesn't want Irving back in Brooklyn. And sources close to the Nets superstar Kyrie Irving have told Brian Lewis and Shams Charania that Irving has every intentions of returning to the Nets this season. So, will the Nets keep Kyrie, or is this just all for gays? Now, the interesting news. This one's interesting. So, a player that could become available for the Miami Heat is John Collins of the Atlanta Hawks. Yes, John Collins of the Atlanta Hawks. This is where we'll spend a little bit of time talking about John Collins, according to Zach Lowe. There's been some Miami John Collins chatter, said Zach Lowe. It's old. It might be months old. I don't think it was ever really serious, but they might revisit that. And I talked about this in the previous in a video I made earlier today that John Collins, if I traded for him, I want Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, and because they aren't going to give me Gabe Vincent or Max Strus, give me Omar Year to 7 and maybe a pick. But I think Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, and Omar Year 7. Yeah, I want one first round pick. Because I feel like but then I would want to package Bogdan in that trade and send Bogdan somewhere else to find it. Are they rubber? What was rubber? I have no idea. But I think it's interesting to see that with John Collins. Imagine John Collins, Bam Adebayo, Kyle Lowry. That'd be a squad. I don't think anyone could deny that. That would be a squad. And I've talked about this before at length. I think John Collins is a guy that, if I have to say, I think John Collins is definitely capable of being a star player. I just personally think John Collins has not been granted, a fair opportunity. And I think he's a guy that, especially on a team like the Miami Heat, oh my God, I feel like the Miami Heat would unlock him in a way that most people wouldn't have expected. But again, this is a trade that what is the right value for John Collins? Because I feel like John Collins' value is somewhat not torn, but it's different, than it was previously. And I'm a guy who believes that this Miami Heat team with John Collins is arguably one of the scariest teams in the league because the versatility between Butler, Adebayo, and Collins would be unmatched. I don't know if there'd be any players in the NBA who could be as versatile or as one would say, I guess you would say as scary or as, because I just feel like John Collins would just be unlocked. We would see a John Collins we had not ever seen. And that's for me what blows my mind. And I want this deal to happen because I want to see John Collins become what we think he can become. And yeah, that's where I get really, really caught up on is this the move, Because if John Collins comes here, because it seems like at this point, I thought John Collins was done. Those trade rumors were all just for gays for them trying to get DeJounte Murray and that they never wanted to trade John Collins. But maybe they've always had the intentions to trade John Collins. And now that they've made the moves, they want to keep going. Because Big O, oh my God, Big O, shout out Aaron for the other day, was telling us all about Big O's stats. He was a better defender than Draymond Green. Okay, that's something people ain't talking about, how good of a defender Big O is. And I'm a big O fan, if I had to say so myself. So with that being said, I wonder what is the right move for them to do. Because if I'm Atlanta, I want a pick for John Collins, but I don't know if a team is going to give me a pick for John Collins. And so, Aaron, I said who would they trade? It would be a package of either Tyler Hero, Omar Year to 7, and Duncan Robinson with a pick, or Duncan Robinson, Nikola Jovic, and Omar Year to 7, no pick. What would you do? Do you want the pick or do you want Nikola Jovic? I think if they put Jovic in the deal, they don't give us a pick. But if they put Jovic in the deal, if they don't put Jovic in the deal, they get a pick. If they do put Jovic in the deal, that is the first round pick because he was just drafted in the first round. I don't know. I feel like that would be the best deal for them. I just it's definitely weird as this whole situation. Yeah, I would take Hero and a pick, even though you would have to be responsible to re-sign Hero. You know what you're getting in Hero, and then you could potentially turn around and say, "Hey, I want to trade what's his face Bogdanovich for so and so because now I got Tyler Hero who will allow me to get rid of Bogdanovich." And I think that would be the best deal for them. Now, next up, let's move on to some other news. Brian Windhorst said this. I don't sense LeBron wants to leave the Lakers, but I would be remiss not to point out that the Caps have positioned themselves to have a huge amount of salary cap space next summer when LeBron James's contract expires and he'll be a potential free agent. They have this growing young team. In fact, the team that they have right now is more potent than the team that they had that he returned to in 2014. So, does that mean that we could potentially see LeBron James back in a Cleveland Cavaliers uniform next summer? And yeah, Aaron, I think Tyler would be a good Bogdan replacement. I think he would do an excellent job of replacing him. Man, this whole Kyrie Irving news is interesting to me because I don't know what's the right answer. Do you keep Kyrie? Oh, not keep Kyrie. Do you keep LeBron in LA, or if you're LeBron, do you go back to Cleveland? If LA doesn't do shit this year, I'm going back to Cleveland. Okay. Though if he goes back to Cleveland, he's not the boss man in charge anymore. So I don't know what you do, to be honest. If he does go back to Cleveland, he's not going to be the GM anymore. He's going to be just a player, and they're going to tell him, "Hey, we're not going to gamble the future for you anymore. Like you're just a piece. You're a piece to the puzzle now." And I think at that point, if you bring in LeBron, you're just talking about a guy who is coming in to be a piece of the pie. He's not necessarily going to be the guy. So I wonder what happens there, but I don't know, man. It's definitely an interesting situation because I don't know what's the right answer, okay? And I look at this team and I think, hey, LeBron James on the Cleveland Cavaliers would be obviously amazing and something that we've never seen before, but like in the sense that him with a young team that's primed to go. Because every team he's gone to, it's basically filled with veterans in a sense. And that's what I mean is him going on a team like this would basically be the youngest, arguably the best squad he's been on since the Miami Heat days. Is that me being overzealous to say that? Because I truly believe that this arguably will be the Cleveland Cavaliers team of next year if they develop how we assume they'll take the next step after this season. They're going to be a squad way better than anything LeBron's been on again since 2010 when he joined the Miami Heat because or I know some people are going to be like, now this is the same as when he joined the Lakers with Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram. No, because everyone's going to be basically almost on their second contract. He joined that team when everybody was still, at the very beginning of their rookie deals. And I don't know, man. I feel like this is a situation that LeBron and it would be best. But I know also people are going to be like, well, LeBron for years now is saying, I ain't from Cleveland, I'm from Akron, making sure people understand that he isn't a Cleveland boy, he's an Akron boy. So that's where I do feel like there are some that he doesn't feel obligated to return to Cleveland. But again, I don't know, man. It's the whole situation itself is interesting because I don't know what's the right thing. Okay. But that's where I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below. If you were LeBron James, would you return to Cleveland or would you just say, fuck it, fuck Cleveland, fuck all that noise? Again, it is probably one of the most interesting situations to look at right now. And it's one to monitor because obviously, if the season goes like shit for LeBron and the Lakers, I think he leaves. But if they go deep into the playoffs, I think it's a little bit harder. Plus, like it seems like he very much likes Cleveland. I mean, not Cleveland, LA, because of the perks and the benefits. But I mean, that obviously all can change. He's not obligated to stay there forever, but I do think it's something to look out for. But now let's go switch on to something else. It's crazy. I'm just trying to milk as much of the same topic as much as possible just so we can fill the air. I want no dead air. Okay, so that's what you guys are getting. Zero dead air. Alrighty, let's continue this grind. Let me take a sip of water, guys. Also, isn't this thing cool? I felt like every YouTuber has a bobblehead, so I got myself a bobblehead. That's so stupid of me to say, but either way, guys, I like having a lot of KU stuff around me. I love my school. Love repping my alma. Well, it's not my alma mater yet, but in a year's time, it will be. Now, let's talk about something else. I'm very interested with all this news that isn't happening because everyone's like the NBA is on vacation right now. And I fully agree the NBA is on vacation. And I think the NBA needs to I don't know. I think the NBA I don't even know, man. Like the Drew League is all cool and stuff, but should the NBA have their own Drew League? Should they have like an optional league to keep the players in shape? But then you'd be like they could just play in the summer league. But no, no. But then you'd be like, everyone wants their off season. So you're right. There's no reason. There's no reason. It's just me being an annoying NBA fan and wanting to basically have NBA all the time. Also, Hoops Hype's right now showing a video of Kobe Bryant, and it's just wild to think about Kobe's dead. I was listening to the KG book, Kevin Garnett's A to Z. That's a good audiobook if you guys haven't heard it. KG A to Z. And he wrote it after the death of it was released actually 2021. Really good book. Really, really good book. I'm like halfway through it. You guys should read it. KG A to Z. And man, he talks about Kobe. Kobe and Kevin Garnett were like really close. And Kevin Garnett almost went to the Lakers, but then they chose to trade it for Paul Gasol instead. They went to the Boston Celtics, but that's a great book. Also, another good book, NBA book, George Karl's, Phil Jackson's, and Nick Nurse. The Kevin Garnett, George Karl, Phil Jackson, and Nick Nurse's books. Those are all 4 books I would recommend reading, as well as Breaks in the Game by David Halberstrom. If you listen to any NBA writer, any NBA coach, anybody who's really tied in with the NBA, everybody tells you to read that book. The breaks of the game, the breaks of the game. It's a long one. It's a very long but you read that book, you or listen to it. It's an 18-hour audiobook though. So I don't know if you want to listen to that one. Changes your perspective of basketball forever. Look, I think yeah, I agree, but Aaron, the problem with the NBA having a summer league for their veteran players, it comes down to this problem is that injuries. That's why I stopped saying it because I was like, the NBA doesn't want to have a summer league for the veteran players because of injuries. People want people to get healthy. People don't want people to get hurt. That's what it comes down to. It doesn't come down to anything else. It comes down to that. So that's That's the difficulty where everything lies, is how do we keep everyone healthy without anyone getting hurt? Another little fun news, Dwight Howard said he would like to play in the NBA next season, but is ready to transition and join the WWE if it does not happen. His NBA career began in Orlando, and he says he's open to beginning his WWE career in Orlando, where the WWE Performance Center is located. Okay. And yeah, Aaron, it all comes down to injuries. I don't like you rather your guys just train by themselves and stay healthy and not play basketball whatsoever so they can be healthy for the because that's the whole thing with the NBA season. This isn't why the NBA season is ever going to be shortened. It's a grind. The purpose we have 82 games plus 20 or so playoff games. What is it? 28 playoff games potentially that you can play in if you went 7-game series every round is because you can the NBA, the most games you can play in a season is 110 games. I mean, technically now you could play 112 if you played 2 play-in games, but that's be impossible. But if you played 7-game series throughout, that's 110 games. People don't realize the purpose of the NBA is that it's a fucking marathon and it's the best team standing wins. The team that had the healthiest roster, the team that had the best players at the end of the season who was able to push it, okay? Aaron, you dirty dog. You dirty dog. I mean, if the reports are right that, Dwight Howard likes transgender women, wouldn't be the first time. This is a bad joke. This was a bad joke. This was a bad joke. I'm just gonna stop. I was gonna make a joke about Dwight, like, you remember a few years ago where Dwight had to come out on national TV and say he wasn't gay and that he wasn't dating a transgender woman? But wouldn't be the first time. Little news, Keegan Murray underwent a minor procedure on his wrist to clean out some loose bodies. He expected to make a quick recovery. Aaron, if Dwight was in the WNBA, he would be averaging 100 a game. He'd be Wilt Chamberlain. He'd be Wilt Chamberlain of the WNBA. No, Keegan Murray underwent surgery. He's gonna be fine. Okay, it was on his right wrist. And the funny thing is he's already back on the court shooting left-handed. Keegan Murray's like, I ain't gonna miss shit. I'm gonna just shoot left-handed. Don't matter. That's funny. Paulo Banchero got a deal with Jordan for what a as the he's a Jordan athlete now, the number one pick. And for me, I've always thought, hey, Jordan athletes, if you're a Jordan athlete, that means Michael Jordan thinks you're a bona fide star. Has Jordan given a Jordan deal to the wrong player? I don't think he's ever given Jordan shoes a sponsorship to a guy who didn't become a star. So shout out Jordan. I think it's so interesting seeing like who signs with who. You guys ever look at the shoe deals of the NBA, shoe deals of the NBA? All right, so shoe deals. So it's kind of funny to see who signed with who. Like Tracy McGrady's leaving Adidas for the first time, but then now they've announced that 2 months ago, Gilbert Arenas re-signed with Adidas, and they're relaunching the Gil Zeros with the hibachi theme. Isn't that so funny? Also, it's Austin Reeves got a shoe deal with Rigoror, a Chinese brand, and he's the first guy to sign with them. And it's kind of funny that, or like Jordan signed all of Howard University and Bones Highlands with Under Armour. It's just so funny, the shoe deals. I love shoe deals. Here's something we can talk about. Zion Williamson, max contract contains a weight clause. Also, Kyler Murray's controversial study clause was removed from his contract. But let's talk about this. According to league sources, Zion Williamson's contract stipulates that he will have weigh-ins periodically throughout the entirety of his new deal. The sum of his weight and body prep percentage must be below 295 pounds, and if it is not, the amount of guaranteed money in Williamson's contract can be reduced. Since Pelicans drafted Zion Williamson's number one overall in 2019, he struggled to stay in shape. Williamson's played only 9 minutes in his summer league debut before his rookie year. He was shut down after bumping knees with a player on the New York Knicks. His poor conditioning played a part in New Orleans' decision to send him out for the remainder of the summer league. Okay. So, first off, I would love if that number was 275. Why 295 pounds? Let's just keep you under 300. Let's keep you under 300. You're fine. You're fine. 300 pounds is at most you can weigh. I just think that's funny how they did that. And is that the right thing to do? I have no idea. And I made the other day. So my boy Kobe, he commented. So when we were talking about the Wizards the other day, I compared Taj Gibson to Udonis Haslem because of his. You're right, but guys, over here, Zion Williamson. I had a comment from another guy, Ramtastic. They should have made it 270. The only way he's worth max is if he can play. So far, it's been proven at his weight he cannot stay healthy. And yeah, 275 is the max I would want him at. Like, like I think at this point, when you look at him, and this is a team that I think it's definitely interesting as all hell because, oh my god, oh, so some rapper died. 24, he beat his girlfriend. You are, my girlfriend's over here texting me, and my girlfriend literally always texts me during the show, and I always have to tell her, I'm like, hey, I'm busy. Oh, and my phone died. And my phone fucking died. Let's plug this thing in. Okay. Zion Williamson on the Hawks would be insane, but at this point, I don't even know if that's possible. If you can get Zion Williamson on the Hawks, because like I think he's just gonna be a Pelicans for life until he goes to the Lakers. I'm just kidding. But I think this is definitely a team that I don't know, it's interesting as all hell. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Any news or anything you guys have been looking at? I think it's definitely an interesting time of year because I don't know. It this is it's boring right now. Ryan Rollins signed a 3-year deal for $4.8 million with the Golden State Warriors, 44th overall. The deal is fully guaranteed for his first 2 years and has significant guarantees for the third year, which means he'll probably play 3 years with them. And damn, it's interesting to see how this all goes down. And for me, it's wild to look at this. Also, I made a video on this yesterday, but the Kevin Durant trade talks are nearly at the same spot they were a month ago. And literally Saturday, which is tomorrow, will be exactly a month since Kevin Durant reportedly made his trade request. And virtually every day or so, we've had a new rumor. So it's kind of interesting to see where this all goes. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below. I think I am gonna wrap this up soon. There's really nothing to talk about, and plus I'm by myself, so I just feel like I'm boring you guys. And look, I don't know, man. The NBA as a whole has been so boring, rumor wise, and it's crazy. Like the most recent news we have is that Carson Edwards is going to Turkey. Okay, let's go over to Twitter. And I think it's funny that we're just looking like I'm right now scoping. Listen, LeBron's most points per game on the road against a team is he averages 34 points a game when he's on the playing against the Cavs and 31 against the Heat in Miami. So 34 points against the Cavs in Cleveland and 31 points versus the Heat. That's wild. And you're good, Aaron. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. I am definitely just wrapping up here. I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below. We'll go longer next week, but there's just nothing. Oh, and my stream cut out, but damn. But yeah, I think this is a good point to end it, guys. I hope you guys. I also need a shit. Short episode today. I'm sorry for it. There's just nothing really I wanted to talk about besides that. I can't even think anything else. And like, yeah, because we already talked about the Celtics. We've talked about Kevin Durant. We talked about Kyrie. We talked about LeBron. At this point, guys, I'm just repeating myself, and I don't enjoy it. I know if I'm not enjoying it, you guys aren't enjoying it. And we talked yesterday, the Lakers, Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, Kyrie. And yeah, I love you guys. I hope you guys do. Thanks, Aaron. I appreciate it. Hey, man, I hope you have a good weekend. I hope you had a good trip, safe travels. Have a good weekend, man. Love hearing your comments. I'll probably post an Atlanta video this weekend, so keep your eye out for that, man. God bless. Godspeed. I'll talk to you guys on Monday. Peace out. Check out the podcast. Tell a friend. Be a friend.